how are we approaching election integrity? Like, dude, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Voter ID, single election day, and vote in person. So,
Yeah. Easy. Yeah. I mean, and so much of it is, and I think you're right, because this was a part of what people were reporting on a few weeks prior to November 3rd. But in the lead, once it all kind of happened, I think everyone forgot about it, and then it got entirely focused on just fraud. But I think that we need to also be looking at, like you're mentioning, the just the actual things that changed, right? Because the rules were changed a few weeks prior. The rules in many places were literally that a ballot could count days after, that there didn't need to be a signature, that that anybody could mail these in. There were so many changes in the rules to this that opened up the gateways for fraud and just many other situations. But just the fact that there was just so much going on that was not a part of our normal elections, that were all given up simply because of COVID, and they use that as a method of trying to do this. So that, I think that's spot on there.
now, as we look at the scopes leading on to the midterms and then eventually the presidential election, there's a lot of headwinds and pressure along the way for your governor DeSantis to run.
Yeah.
And if he decides to run, he's got my support.
Yeah.
But what if Trump runs?
He's saying that he is, or possibly, but I really don't think it's probably the best idea right now, honestly. If he does it, it is what it is. It's fine. But I think that, finding somebody that's like Trump in that way, I think might be a better option too. Of course, at the same time, I want Ron DeSantis here in Florida, being selfish, but still, it is what it is, but yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't think it will be the worst idea, but at the same time, I think that, especially right now, because a lot of people are also kind of losing a little bit of support for Trump too, because of him pushing the vaccines like crazy and everything else like that. So I think a lot of people are just kind of like, okay, like he's just kind of saying the same stuff the same way, doing the same thing. So I think a lot of people are looking for someone fresh in that aspect. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I think we need more time to kind of tell and see.
I think so too. To me, like, well, if he's the only option, well, of course.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It's just that, like, dude, if you're gonna run for ego, sit it out. You are making a bigger impact doing what you're doing right now.
Absolutely.
Than he did in there, because being in there, he had to drag everybody.
Yeah.
It was a miracle he got almost anything done. It's like, dude, everyone was against you, but you being out here are effectuating the change that we need against all odds in certain cases. So in that respect, to me, like, dude, Trump, you have a greater impact, not in the Oval Office. You'll be like, what,
definitely.
80?
Yeah, he'll be up there. No. So will Joe Biden. Even Joe Biden recently hinted that he's probably not going to run, and I don't think he should either. It's like we're going to have two over 80-year-olds running, and it's going to be absolutely insane if that happens.
All right, come on, William. You're being too kind and generous there. You really think he's actually running anything?
Yeah, no, he's not.
No, and that's
he's always been an empty suit.
It's a weekend of Bernie's, but man, it's like, what are we doing here?
It's true.